Hi, and welcome to our MVU virtual event on the U2 Certificate Management tool. And again, my name is Mike Belmy, and you've probably seen this slide a few times already by now. So with this demo, mainly the one resource you're going to need is the U2 Common Clients. 5.2.0 is good, 5.2.1 is the current release. These are free from our product availability matrix for download. Our certificate management tool was released first in June 2019, version 1.00, so it's brand new. It's part of the Rocket U2 clients and APIs, the 5.2.0 release, and the 5.2.1 clients also. For now, it's just a Windows tool. When we initially created it, we did think about making it into some sort of Java release so it would be platform independent. That's not happened yet, but it still may happen down the line if we have some demand for that. It's all command line, just Windows command prompt written into a bunch of different batch scripts for each specific function in there. If you want to add additional functionality or change the tool in any way, or welcome to edit those batch scripts in any way you want. And as for the functionality, you've got a good screenshot there of all the options in the tool. That's what the main menu looks like. I'll go into a lot more detail on this in the demo, but just to briefly overview the functionality, we've got a certificate format converter, certificate store converter, creator and viewer, certificate and certificate signing request creator, certificate viewer, SSL test client and server, a Java key store viewer, importer, and exporter as well. As for the dependencies, you definitely need OpenSSL installed locally and accessible. OpenSSL is commonly found in the universe and Unidata bin directories, so you can definitely use the install there from the U2 database if you're on the same machine. Version 102 of OpenSSL or higher is recommended. I've done a little testing with the latest version 1.1.1 of OpenSSL also. Java is required, 1.8 or higher. You can use Oracle, or these days Rocket's using OpenJDK a lot more. So that needs to be installed and accessible. A little bit more on the dependencies here. So before you launch the main menu, which is the pfxmenu.bat, you can see in that screenshot there, you're going to want to open the scertmgr.cmd file, circled there, or a rectangle, I guess. Once you open that with a text editor, and then you're going to want to set the OpenSSL path. So like I have the universe bin directory for the OpenSSL path there. Also the JRE home. So in that example, I'm using OpenJDK 1.8 and JRE home set there. So once you save that off, and then once you use the rest of the tool, it'll be able to find OpenSSL and Java set in the path already, and you should be good to go. Okay, so before we get going, if you install the certificate management tool to the default directory on Windows, which is C, Program Files, Rocket Software, and the U2 Certificate Management tool. I've found one issue with this so far is that running the scripts, they do seem to require admin privileges to run, just because in this Program Files x86 directory, that seems to be an administrative directory if you're going to edit anything in there. So but if you seem to have an issue with some of the scripts not working or saying they can't find this directory or this file, then I'd suggest just moving them out. I just moved the entire directory out to this cert manager, certmgr directory I created on the C drive here. Just copied the whole directory. It's a bunch of scripts, and as long as everything's there, they look locally in the directory they're running from. To begin, once you have it installed, I'd suggest, well, you need to open this scertmanager.cmd file with a text editor. This is what it looks like. I mentioned in the slides there's a couple lines you need to edit here. I've already done this. So give it an OpenSSL path. I have Unidata 8.2 installed on this machine, so I gave it the bin path where OpenSSL is found on this line. And then you're going to give it a JRE Java Home. I have OpenJDK installed on this machine, so I've given it the JRE Home. And you can see the next line there sets the path. It'll do JRE Home /bin and OpenSSL. So once you've got that taken care of, make sure to save those changes to that file, and you should be good to go from there. There's a couple ways to actually launch the menu. You can go to the Windows Start menu, find Rocket Software in the list of programs, and launch the certificate management tool from there. What that does is actually run this pfxmenu.bat script. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click that and bring this window down to size. So we've got a good list here of all the options, the full menu. I'm just going to demonstrate about 3 of these today. First one, I figured it'd be good to go through number 5, which is create a certificate signing request and then a self-signed certificate. It does actually create both PFX and PEM, not OR like it does say. So we'll go ahead and hit 5 here. Okay, so we can see to start it's going to ask for a CSR as a certificate signing request file. So it wants you to give a path and then a name of a file to create, and it'll add the .req extension on the end. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this C cert manager directory here. So I'm going to copy that path, paste that in, about test1, and it should add .req on the end and create a request file. It's pretty much the same as if you're going through Xadmin or any other tool that creates a certificate. It's going to ask for all your the info you want on the certificate. So we'll give it US, Colorado, Denver, Rocket, U2, and fully qualified domain name for the server here. dendev mvdtmj102.dev.rocketsoftware.com. Test email address. You got a couple options here, SHA-1 or SHA-2 certificate. We'll go with SHA-2. This certificate age limit is always in days if that's not clear, so this would be 3,650 days or 10 years about. And then a password. This is going to be the password set on your private key it creates. And they match, so we'll go ahead. Everything looks good there. We'll go ahead and create it. Yes. And I'll just scroll up. You can kind of see the details. It's created here. Do you want to create a self-signed certificate now? You can stop there, or you can have it actually create the self-signed certificate. I'll do yes to create it. And pretty easy. It created everything. We got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files that should be created in that C cert mgr directory I created. Certificate file, pkcs12 or pfx file, public key, private key, request, and RSA key if you need that as well. So we'll just hit enter to continue. Brings us back to the menu after closing that. And let me show you that directory now. Here's all our files. I'll show you the certificate. You can see most of it there. Subject. Got the common name of the server we entered. Looks good. It's self-signed, so not trusted yet. Okay, next piece to this. There's an SSL test server and test client here. Options 8 and 9. We're going to go ahead and actually fire up an SSL test server using the certificate we created and the private key. And then we're going to do a second session that fires up a test client to connect to that server. So we'll first do option 9 to start a server here. So this is asking for a port to create that SSL server on. I'm just going to go ahead with 6443. So it wants the path and name of the server certificate, and I assume a private key in a minute. So that's the server certificate we just created. Enter. Same thing here. test1.pvt, which was our private key right here. You can add other options if you want. You'd kind of have to know OpenSSL well to do that. And go ahead with just enter. So there's the command it runs to start this. It's an OpenSSL s_server command. I guess this is the no additional options here. So enter the password for the private key. Okay, looks like it's been started. I'm just gonna minimize this window while we go back to the main menu here, and I'm going to start with the SSL test client now. Okay, so the name of the secure server, that's going to be the host name, fully qualified domain name we want to connect to. This is local, but I'll still give it the full name here. Okay, and the port, we fired that up on 6443. We'll just give it the path to where the actual server certificate is so it can trust that. So that was here. It'll automatically look through there for the certificates. No other options. Okay, so you see what it ran. OpenSSL s_client utility this time. There's the full command it ran. We're connected. We got a copy of the server certificate back. Connected with TLS 1.2 protocol. So this is kind of cool. If I move this over and bring back our server here, you see what's happened. It set up the SSL session, and we're connected from a client. So on this client, I just type hello. We see that the server is receiving that. So we're connected. Everything's working there. I'm just going to go ahead and close these. It's a lot more options. I'm not going to demo everything. You can kind of work through them at your own pace if you want. I believe this is, still version 1.0.0. Kind of a work in progress at Rocket, and should continue to get better as we work on things.